In today's video, we'll go over every piece of epic hero equipment and rank them in order. We will break down every hero and their epic equipment to give you a further understanding of why these epic equipments are ranked in this specific order. Keep in mind, these epic equipments will be ranked on their power and not synergy. That video will be coming in the future. Let's start off by talking about the Barbarian King. The Barbarian King has 3 epic equipments: the Spiky Ball, Giant Gauntlet, and Snake Bracelet. In third place is the Snake Bracelet. This piece of epic equipment was introduced at the 2025 Snake is Back event and released 2 days later on February the 7th at the Snake Festival event. Although this piece of equipment is underrated on this list, it is placed third due to not having a lot of damage output. It summons snakes for the king to help tank damage, as one snake is spawned after every 300 HP is lost. This helps increase the king's DPS, hit points, and attack speed. However, by itself it doesn't have enough firepower. In second place, it's the Giant Gauntlet. This piece of equipment at the max level makes the ability last for 17 seconds. When active, the Giant Gauntlet reduces incoming damage on the king by 55%, which increases his survivability, also increasing the king's damage by 160. It also allows the king to do splash or area damage up to 2.5 tiles and provides 40 healing per second. Standalone, this equipment is very strong and can take down compartments when paired with the right equipment. In first place for the king is the Spiky Ball. At max level, this unleashes a spiky ball that bounces into 8 buildings, creating insane damage. Each bounce deals 3,250 damage to each building. It also increases the Barbarian King's health by 3,290 and increases his DPS by 222. This is why the Spiky Ball is the best standalone equipment for the king due to its power and versatility. Now let's move to the Archer Queen, who also has 3 epic pieces of equipment: the Frozen Arrow, Magic Mirror, and Action Figure. All 3 equipment pieces for the queen can be used depending on the situation, but let's break them down for you from worst to best. At number 3 is the Frozen Arrow. The Frozen Arrow has some great passive abilities at max level, adding slow effects to every defense it hits by 65%, each shot duration lasting 3 seconds. But the duration does not stop. It only works on the defenses being attacked. It also increases the queen's DPS by 168, which significantly makes the queen hit harder but reduces her survivability, making it not viable at higher town halls. Moving to number 2 is the Magic Mirror. This is one of the strongest items when it comes to the queen. The key feature is that at max level, you spawn 2 clone queens, putting 3 of them on the battlefield, tripling the damage output of the queen. The clones last for 30 seconds and each clone gives an additional DPS of 765, also increasing clone health by 3,216. It also gives the queen 1 second of invisibility, which significantly increases survivability. In addition, it gives the queen instant health recovery of 891 and increases her hit points by 861. This epic equipment is also insanely versatile, making it viable at almost every situation, making it one of the best pieces of epic equipments in the game. Number 1. The best epic equipment for the queen is hands down the Action Figure. This equipment is versatile and works well at every town hall level, with every single strategy. It gives the queen amazing tanking, increasing her survivability sustainably. At max level, the giant summoned from the Action Figure is amazing. It has 18,500 hit points and only targets defenses. This equipment also gives 40% self-healing, 135 DPS, and a hit point increase of 713, making it not only the best equipment for the queen, but one of the strongest pieces of equipment currently in the game. Let's move on to the Minion Prince. This is the only hero that currently has 2 pieces of epic equipment in the game, the Dark Crown and the Meteor Staff. Both pieces of equipment can be useful depending on the base. Let's break them down. At number 2 is the Dark Crown. This epic equipment can be very strong, but relies on half of your army being defeated before reaching its full potential. This equipment gives the Minion Prince a passive max health increase of 30% and a max damage increase of 30% also, as well as a hit point boost of 1200 and an 11% attack increase. Moving on to number 1, the Meteor Staff. At max level, this equipment is strong but very situational. This equipment passively targets one defense at a time until it goes down, dealing 850 damage per hit. Each hit has a cooldown of 5 seconds between them. For the hero boost, this equipment gives the Minion Prince a DPS increase of 125 and also increases his hit points by 1381. Keep in mind the Minion Prince epic equipment is good, but there are better options, which we will be covering in future videos. Now let's move forward to the Grand Warden, who has one of the best pieces of epic equipment, but also has a total of 3 epic equipment pieces. The 3 pieces of epic equipment are the Heroic Torch, the Lava Loon Puppet and the Fireball. Let's rank these 3 pieces from best to worst for the Grand Warden. At number 3 is the Lava Loon Puppet. This equipment has been very underwhelming and is getting a rework in the upcoming update. But in the current state, this equipment is not viable with any army after Town Hall 12. Its ability to summon 2 lava loons, each having 4590 hit points, doing 202 damage per second, and a death damage of 1035 when destroyed. It also increases the Warden's DPS by 50 and his hit points by 150. Keep in mind this equipment is not used at the highest level currently. At number 2 is the Heroic Torch. This is a newer equipment for the Grand Warden and is also underwhelming in many attack strategies, but it is usable in some very specific armies. However, there are better combinations and equipment, which we will cover in a later video. The Heroic Torch at max level lasts for 20 seconds, giving the troops the ability to walk through walls, move faster and take less damage. The speed is increased by 9 and oncoming damage is reduced by 10%. It also gives the Grand Warden a hero boost. Health recovery goes up to 360, the DPS is increased by 69, and hit points are increased by 125. This epic equipment is not the best, because it is too tough to control the pathing, and troops have a higher chance of splitting, but it is usable at the highest level. The best epic equipment for the Grand Warden by far is the Fireball. This piece of equipment unleashes devastating damage on bases. It throws a giant exploding fireball at the closest defense that reaches 6 tiles, doing a total of 4100 damage to every building it hits. Paired with an earthquake spell or 2, it can take down entire compartments instantly, also increasing the Grand Warden's DPS by 101, making it one of the strongest and most versatile equipment pieces in the game, and can work with a lot of armies. Before we speak about the Royal Champion, if you are enjoying the content, drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also use code BLUE for any in-game purchases. The last hero on the list is the Royal Champion. She has some of the best epic equipment in the game for a hero, including 3 very strong epic equipment items: the Frost Flake, Electro Boots and Rocket Spear. Let's break them down from worst to best. Number 3 is the Frost Flake. This equipment is good and usable at the top level, but it's not as strong as the other 2 pieces of epic equipment on the list. At max level, the Frost Flake provides some nice active abilities when used. It throws a freeze effect at the 7 closest defenses for a total of 7 seconds, and also damages all the defenses it hits by 294, making it underrated and underused at the highest level of the game. At number 2, we have the Rocket Spear. This piece of equipment is used by a majority of armies all over the game. This piece of equipment is used by a majority of armies at all levels of the game. It's very versatile and can help you 3-star. It has a lot of active abilities. When you press the ability, the Royal Champion can throw its spear at defenses from 10 tiles away for a total of 10 shots. It gives each attack 980 extra damage. So after all 10 throws have been used, that's an extra 9800 damage, also giving a small area damage of 0.8 tiles. It also boosts the hero, increasing DPS by 168 and also a hit point increase of 700, making it one of the strongest equipment for the Royal Champion. And most people's number 1 choice as the best equipment in the game is the Electro Boots. This equipment piece is always active and it is a passive ability, putting an electric ring around the Royal Champion, allowing it to do 200 aura damage a second. It is also the most used equipment at the highest level of the game. Also, it is very versatile and can be used for every army. The aura damage alone makes this equipment unique and unstoppable, especially in the right hands. In addition to the ability, the Electro Boots grant additional hit points to the Royal Champion and give her 45 self-healing per second. That's the video done right there of ranking all of the epic equipments for all the heroes in Clash of Clans. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video and want to see more content like this in the future, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.